Today we're going to talk about translating inequalities. If you refer back to your notebook and the foldable that we created, you can see what they all look like and the words we use to translate them. The first is less than. Notice if you tip your head, this looks like an L. Or if you use your left hand, there's our L. L for less than. Less than or equal to. Greater than. Notice if you tip your head, this does not look like an L. Okay, I can't make that, it's backwards, no L. And we have greater than or equal to. So when we brainstormed for less than, we came up with is less than, is fewer than, under, or below. Less than or equals to is less than or equal to, is at most, is no more than, maximum, limit, does not exceed, and is not above. For greater than, we came up with is greater than, is more than, over, and above. And greater than or equal to, we came up with is greater than or equal to, is at least, is no less than, is no fewer than, minimum, exceeds, and is not under. Okay? If you get stuck, refer back to your notebook. Let's practice some translating. A number is less than 15. When we translate these, you'll notice that I have a number and I have a 15. Those are your bookends. Go ahead and write those down first. Then we need to find the inequality, is less than. The word is right there tells us that we have an inequality. And is less than 15? That's the symbol for is less than. You see it? Tip your head and look. Be very careful not to confuse that with a number less than 15. Notice there is no is here. So this is not an inequality. A number, there's our x, less, that means subtract. 15, go ahead and write that down. And then if you remember, than means turn around, our turnaround word. So this is 15 minus x. Very different. The is tells us we have an inequality when it is at the front. It is not an inequality when it's not there. All right, let's look at the next one. A number that is at least 90. Get your bookends. There's our number and our 90. And we have is at least. Okay, I have an inequality. At least 90. Can it equal 90? Yes, it can. Least is the lowest number it can be is 90. So my answer is greater than or equal to 90. X can be a 90 and it can be more than 90, but it cannot be smaller than a 90. A speed limit of 65. Your X and your 65. Limit. Okay, the limit means I can't go any faster than 65, but I can go 65, so it's going to be less than or equal to 65. I can drive 65, or I can drive less than 65. A number is no more than 14. Your bookends up there, X and 14. Is no more than. It's an inequality. Can it be a 14? Yes, it can, but it can't be more than 14, only less than. X is less than or equal to 14. Let's look at the next one. A number that is at most 23. There's my X and my 23. Is at most. There's my inequality. So the most it can be is 23. Can it be a 23? Absolutely. So we know it's equal to. The most it can be is 23. So it can be equal to 23 or less than 23. X is less than or equal to 23. A maximum number of 12. Maximum. Maximum means the highest or the most. So the most it can be is 12. So we know it's an equal to. X is less than or equal to 12. Can't go any higher than 12. And the last one, a minimum number of 17. Okay, there's my bookends. And now we have a minimum. Minimum is the smallest or the lowest. So the lowest number it can be is a 17. Can it be a 17? Absolutely. So it can be greater than or equal to 17. And there are your examples of translating basic inequalities.